Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Illinois Divorce TV. I'm divorce attorney in Chicago, Bobby Buchanan. In today's video, we're talking about when do you have to pay maintenance to your spouse in a divorce? So maintenance, commonly known as alimony, is periodic payments or regular payments to the other side after you are divorced or during the divorce process as well. When you have to pay those payments comes down to a number of different factors. And factors are things that the law lays out for the court to consider in determining whether or not you do have the obligation to pay maintenance. So the place that you can find this, if you want to read the factors itself, I'm just going to pull this over to my screen here so I can be looking at it while I'm talking to you. The place that you can find it is 750 ILCS 5/504. And if you just plug that into Google, it'll pop up the maintenance law itself so you can take a look at it and read it. I'm not going to go through every single factor that the court looks at, but to suffice it to say that the court can really look at whatever it wants. I mean, when you look through these factors, it's pretty clear that the everything is fair game as far as what the court's going to be looking at. But I'll go through a couple factors so you can get an idea of what the court is going to be focused in on. So the first factor that the court's going to be focused in on is the income and property of each party, including marital property, apportioned and non-marital property assigned to the party seeking maintenance, as well as all financial obligation imposed on the parties as a result of the dissolution of marriage. Well, that is a very long sentence that basically says we're going to look at how property was distributed in this case and what kind of financial obligations that each party has because of the distribution of it. The other big ones that I think are real relevant to maintenance and play a big part usually is the earning capacity of each party. So in very common scenario, one person gave up their career or didn't pursue a career, or dropped out of college, or was not focused on increasing their earning capacity because they were focused on raising the children. And then the other parent, the other spouse, was focused on building their career up, increasing their income. So now you have this big disparity, and when the parties get divorced, if there wasn't maintenance, the party that had sacrificed everything to raise the kids would be living in poverty, while the other parent would be living this lavish lifestyle because they had focused their time on building their income. So in that sort of example, it is very typical for there to be a maintenance award. So once the court says, okay, this is a maintenance case, how do they decide what the maintenance amount is? Well, at that point, you get to a very specific formula, and there is a guideline maintenance formula that says that you have to pay 33% of your net income minus 25% of the other party's net income, and that is the amount of maintenance you have to pay per month. So you would take your net monthly incomes and calculate it that way. Now, for how long do you have to pay it? Again, there's a very specific formula for figuring that out, and I'll just go over it roughly, but it's based on the length of your marriage, and the longer you're married, the longer you have to pay maintenance. And for example, if you're married for 5 years, there's a factor, so you multiply 5 by the factor that's associated with 5 years, and that is 0.24. If it's less than 5 years, it's 0.2. So for example, if you were married for 4 years, 364 days, you would have to pay maintenance for 1/5 of that time, which is approximately 1 year. When you get into more years, you get into 20 years or 19 years. Let's say 19 years for this example. You're going to pay 0.8 for 0.8 times 19. So that's closer to, I can't do the math in my head, but that's about 16, 17 years that you're going to be paying maintenance. Once you get into 20 plus years of marriage, really anything is on the table. It's at the discretion of the court whether or not you might be paying maintenance for the rest of your life. And there are events that can end maintenance. Most commonly, if your spouse remarries, or if she's having or he's having a continuing conjugal relationship, I believe is the terminology that's used. Basically, you don't have to remarry, but if you are living with someone else and it's a romantic type relationship, you can't continue to get maintenance. I hope that has answered some of your questions. If you have any other comments, questions, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. If you want to continue the conversation, do so there. Don't forget to subscribe so you continue to get these videos which come out on a daily basis. I'll talk to you soon.